Florida's Amendment 3 could change everything for recreational cannabis users. But is it all good news? I doubt it. In this video, we'll break down what it means for you, for the economy, and for the future of cannabis in the state. But before we do, today's video is brought to you by RealDGC.com. If you want to connect with our private community of premium growers, get grow tips from some of the best growers around the world, and get access to exclusive Dude Grow Show content, membership is free, and you can become a DDC producer if you want to help support the value that we bring you here. Head on over to RealDGC.com and get signed up today. All right, back to the show. This is your old home state, Scotty, man. Let's get into this.
Absolutely. Spent many years there, many friends there, called back, and they tell me there's weed everywhere. So, yeah.
Well, if weed's everywhere, everyone's going to want a piece of the action, especially big cannabis, right?
Yep. Well, big government too. Don't forget, every time somebody big cannabis sells something, government gets a bunch of tax revenue on it. So it would seem like those would have similar goals. But yeah, this, who True Leaf is? Y'all ever heard of that? They're huge, man. They're absolutely the number one dispensary chain in Florida, and they are all in on this. So it's what does it say? $105 million. They've given over $100 million to the Yes on 3 campaign.
What do they, man, that is so, I mean, I guess that's what ad revenue, putting on anything you can with the media, lobbyists, influencing whoever they can.
Yeah.
The money.
I don't know why I sound down about it, because this is a company that's taken $100 million to legalize cannabis in Florida. And so a part of me say that, of course, they're doing it so they can sell it to you at full retail prices and make a bunch of money. But it is legal cannabis, right? It means when you get pulled over and your car stinks like weed, they can't pull you out and search you. Same with your house. There's some pros and cons to this.
I mean, it has some good, it means legal weed, but you look a little down about it.
You know what? It's because it doesn't allow for home grow. I mean, you were talking about this before. So it still makes growing what we like to do, growing our own medicine for very inexpensive. It's a great hobby. It is still illegal.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of those things where they we're going to talk about some of the benefits here. But if that seems to be why truly there's just a conflict there. How much of a chunk are we taking from, if they're going to allow home grow? I presume, would you want to allow home growing if you're the business that's spending millions to get this to pass?
If I'm somebody that doesn't understand the marketplace, sure. But if I'm somebody that understands the marketplace, what do I care? You know how few people, if you go look at the YouTube numbers, when there's just a show where they show, just show weed and smoke weed, there's a hell of a lot more people that are interested in just, smoking and the products that are at the dispensaries than are going to go spend $700-800 to grow their own. It takes 2-3 months to do it. So no, I don't think that they cannibalize each other so much.
Yeah, I would like to know a little bit more. They are putting some I don't know if I call this fear mongering, but the article was out by a lobbyist group that said home growing cannabis indoors puts a strain on the power grid, so we shouldn't allow it, which a home grower has an LED light and a tent that's pretty chill. So, yeah, I mean, the fear mongering that putting out a little bit, I'm not exactly sure why, but.
Well, hang on. That's the opposite, because those 1,000 light grows that, True Leafs grows that are thousands and thousands of lights. Those are the ones putting the strain on the power grid. Need their own nuclear reactor to run that thing.
I agree. Let's talk about main opponents of this. Governor Ron DeSantis is the opponent of it. It's a bullet points. He says it's disproportionately going to benefit large cannabis corporations like True Leaf. I heard there's 25 people that have licenses already, not just True Leaf, but that this one's kind of, I don't know, just politics.
Yeah, I don't think, is he a fan of weed in general? I don't know.
I can't say that when I hear the points that Elsie has made. He goes, you go to places like Denver and it just smells like marijuana. It's not been good quality of life for them.
Oh, it's been a great quality of life. Great. I went to the smoking section at a concert yesterday and just went and smoked a joint Actually, shout out Tony. I hung out with DGC there. But yeah, it was so nice, man. And guess what was right on the other side of the little gate was a bunch of cops. Didn't give a damn.
We also have, which this one, if you know and follow cannabis media, if you will, has already come full circle. Illicit marijuana, again from Governor DeSantis, laced with illegal drugs like fentanyl, have destroyed lives. I know because I've seen it firsthand.
How? What? No, you didn't. There's no way you saw somebody get hooked on fentanyl-laced weed or smoked fentanyl-laced weed. It's being Brick Grambo we're talking about it. The economics aren't so good there.
Yeah, you can't put more expensive thing in least expensive things that have that exist.
Yeah, it's fake. I really do. We've got lobbyists on both sides. And boy, it's a great argument, right? Somebody think of the children.
Another when you see fake news cycle, if you will, because I forgot which state it was that was trying to go legal, and they are pushing out these news stories about fentanyl laced cannabis, and they kept getting debunked. Where's the proof? Down to a false police report. I didn't dig that far back, but yeah, it's just a crazy fear tactic.
But it sucks because when we were doing research for this, and yes, believe it or not, we did research, we found fake news on both sides. You know, obviously just two lobby groups. We were looking at something. We were like, this is all about legalizing cannabis, but it doesn't seem real. None of this stuff seems like facts that we know.
One day we're going to be able to show up. You don't know what to believe anymore.
I don't know what to believe anymore. That's when they got you, dude. That's when they got you.
Couple of potential bonus points here. Legalization, it would lead to some good economic boosts throughout taxation and new jobs. You're going to have dispensary workers, trimmers. I don't know, maybe they already got all the trimmers covered with machines, but growers, there's a whole, people, security. There's a deep line of people that will be employed.
Oh, you saw a lot of weed, a lot of legal weed in Florida. Absolutely.
Let's see. We also had concerns about, unregulated. This is where we talk about, again, some things that I don't know if it's fear mongering or not. You tell me. Unregulated sales and public exposure, the free market, the legacy market. It says critics fear an increase in unregulated or black market sales if oversight isn't strict enough. Now, this is from Smart and Safe Florida, which, by the way, got $55 million from Trulieve, just 55, top donor.
That's a lot.
It says this is things they're putting out into the media. Amendment 3 will legalize marijuana for adults, safe lab tested from a store, not from the street. So it's
do you grow your cannabis, especially if there's not tons of money in it, because you can get it at the store now. Now you're doing it, or I think the motivation of a lot of growers will be doing it because they just want to save money. You know, it's expensive at the store. I can grow up my own and save myself and save money. But hey, the biggest problem I got, comes in a bucket now. When you trim it from a plant, you got 6, 8, 10 ounces. Man, you give it away. You give it for, you hook your friends up really cheap with it. A, it's inexpensive. B, it's clean. You're not going to give somebody something that that you wouldn't smoke yourself, right?
No, I mean, 100%. It's, and I've heard other people, again, saying that if you're going to the street, you're getting it laced with different drugs from different sheriff's organizations again. But the main thing you said is I like to save money, man. I get it. Like even after buying all my grow equipment and everything, I save money after a few harvests and continually save money. Yeah, I'm not just knowing I'm growing my own. Some of the other, which is interesting, Amendment 3, as this is from the Safe and Smart, funded by Trulieve, will protect community from dangerous illegal drugs, not sure exactly how, while allowing law enforcement to focus on serious crimes. I do 100% agree. Law enforcement does not need to be spending times with petty possession. Amendment 3 allows up to possession of 3 ounces per individual, which a lot of people get busted for down there quite a bit. So I do like that point of it. But again, I'm not going for anything that's allowed. Bro, put my foot down.
A Homegrow? Yeah, you know what, though? If this is going to allow a cop to come to my door and smell weed and say, I don't really have reasonable cause to go in, probable cause to go in, if they roll down my window and it smells like raw marijuana, could have a whole lot of raw marijuana in there, but the cop has no ability to go in because cannabis is completely legal. Man, I do like that. So if this is just going to take the heat off of cannabis in general and just make it so even if you were caught growing, who cares? It's so normalized. Maybe there's something there.
What's tricky is the unknown. I halfway agree with you. Only halfway, because probably that is to be decided. What if you are caught growing, even though we have recreation? Is it just a fine? I think in a few states it still potentially might be a felony, even with recreational legalization. Be careful.
But the cops just told you they don't want to be enforcing this stuff. That's why the cops are for it, because they don't want to sit there and have to bust people with 2 ounces of weed and take them to jail and ruin their careers.
Right. The last point that they bring up as far as for it, greater exposure to cannabis may raise concerns about usage among the younger populations. Oh, sorry. These are some of the opponents' points. This is basically saying, what about the kids, Scotty? What about the kids? And we've covered so many stories on Dude Grow Show where young adult use is down across the board with recreational passing.
So what about the kids, dude? I mean, first off, when they legalized it in Colorado, teen use actually went down because it stopped being so rebellious. And then Grambo just brought up a great point, is where all this tax revenue, is a lot of this tax revenue, goes to the schools, goes to the education system, which I think is huge.
I agree. Hey, that's just our take on Amendment 3 in Florida. Let us know what you think. This one's a tough one for me. It has some of its benefits. I really like Homegrow. But yeah, especially if you're from Florida, leave a comment down there. Let's check them out. Let's hear what you have to say.
Yes, and at least hit the like button. All right, smash the subscribe button. And yeah, I would like to know. Ask another grower what they think. And then watch the other couple videos YouTube's recommending, because I know you'll dig them.